everyone? Hope we're all doing well. The UFC have updated their rankings, so let's go through them. Now we're going to start things off with the men's pound for pound rankings, where we see Alexander Volkanovski is now at number 9 in the rankings of that pound for pound list, and I haven't got any problems with that. You know, he came off 2 back-to-back knockout losses, and then he gets a big win over Diego Lopez, so I think number 9 is quite fair to put Volkanovski there. I think if he didn't have those losses, of course, he'd be much higher. But with those 2 back-to-back knockout losses, you know, he was always going to drop down a bit. And now that he came back, beat Diego Lopez, got that championship belt for a second time. Number 9, I'm happy with that. But what I'm not happy with, Pantoja. Why is Alexander Pantoja at number 10? Why? I just feel like the UFC have just always disrespected flyweights. I know you talk about fucking how we love DJ now, but if you remember, if you were a fan when DJ was around, they really weren't that fond of DJ. And now with Pantoja, I think, has he defended the title the second? I think he's the champion with the second most title defenses. I think. I might be wrong on that, but regardless, the names he's beat, Royval Moreno, Kaya Sakura. Why is he number 10? I don't really get this. Been on a very long winning streak. Hasn't lost in a very long time. I think like, what, 5-6 years ago to Figueiredo or Askarov, one of the two. Can't exactly remember, but it is crazy to me that he's only number 10. Aspinall, 11 as well. But then you got Pereira, who's lost his title at number 8. I feel like the champion should automatically be above him, but I mean, whatever, I suppose. I feel like Pantoja should be a lot higher up, should be over Magomed Ankalaev, should be above Dricus du Plessis, you know, Marab. He should be around there at the very least. It's baffling for me. John Jones being second and Aspinall being 11th is a joke, is what it is, but it's just whatever. They have a hard on for Jones being at the top. And now we move on to the women's strawweight division, where we see Virna Jandiroba move up 2 spots and Jan Jianan move down to the 3rd rank. And that's very understandable. I haven't really got too much to say about this. What we're doing with Zhang Weili, whether she's going to have that super fight with Shevchenko after the Manon Fire-Up fight, I don't know. Virna Jandiroba, clear-cut contender. Didn't take any damage, could get that done late summer, go for it, and then do the Zhang Weili and Shevchenko fight later on in the year. I think that pans out perfectly. Next up, we have a very nice feel-good moment as Dominic Reyes is back in the top 10 of that light heavyweight division. Nikita Krylov's dropped down twice, and Johnny Walker's also gone down to 11th, which is just 1 placement for where he was before. But Dominic Reyes back in that top 10. Things just love to see. Who should he fight next? I like the fight with him and Alexander Rakic. We haven't seen it before. Rakic is on like what, a 2-fight losing skid at the moment. Give him Dominic Reyes. I think that's a fun fight, an interesting fight. Would love to see how that one goes, but I'm just happy to see Dominic Reyes back in that top 10. You know, coming off what, 4 back-to-back losses, losing to Ryan Spann by a fucking jab in the very first round, getting knocked out cold by it as well. Crazy things, and now he's back in that top 10, and I'm so happy for him. Good things to see. Right, now we've got 2 more weight divisions to go through, and I have saved the best till last. We've got the lightweight division, and then later on I'll get to the featherweight division, but we start with the lightweight division, where we see Paddy Pimblett move up 4 spots, and he's now ranked number 8, which is very fair. But my problem is Mateusz Gamrot is above him. Why is Mateusz Gamrot above Paddy Pimblett when Mateusz Gamrot, his last fight was August last year against Dan Hooker, and he lost? So why is Gamrot moved up a spot? It doesn't really make any sense. Why wouldn't you put Paddy above Gamrot? Surely that makes a lot more sense, that Paddy's got a more recent win than Gamrot. So this makes no sense to me. Paddy should be up a bit more. I'm not overly pissed off at it or anything. I just don't think Gamrot should be 7th. You shouldn't be moving up in the rankings from losing what, fucking 9 months ago, 8-9 months ago. And there's still no fight news for Gamrot, by the way, so I don't know if he's got anything lined up, but this is crazy to me. Paddy should be in number 7, arguably over Dan Hooker as well, to be fair, at number 6. But you know what, I won't complain about it too much. He gets a big fight in his next one. You know, you're hearing all these big names. There's too many options for him, so I won't go through them all, but obviously his next fight will be a big one. And then you got Michael Chandler, who moves down 5 spots to number 12. Very understandable and deserved. You know, he's been on a losing streak, lost to Charles, lost to Paddy. It makes sense. Was very inactive, was out for 2 years, so having a hiatus of 2 years, coming back losing twice, makes so much sense that he's moved down to number 12. Who will he fight next? I think maybe the winner of Benoit Saint Denis and Joel Alvarez, but even then I think maybe I'm being a bit too generous. I mean, ideally, realistically, he's going to have to fight someone outside of the rankings, but knowing Chandler and how much the UFC just love Chandler, he's probably going to get someone like, say, the winner of Benoit Saint Denis and Joel Alvarez. I wouldn't be surprised that. If they did give him someone like Moicano or Dariush, my right eyebrows would be raised a bit that he's fighting someone who's above him in the rankings, when he hasn't won a fight since, I can't even remember when that Tony fight was. And finally, we get to the last one, the featherweight division. And as you can see by all the green and red markers, there is a lot going on. Number one, obviously, you got Alexander Volkanovski as a champion again. Lovely stuff to see. Getting that belt back for the second time, brilliant. Max Holloway is number one, okay. But then you have Ilia Topuria as number three. I'm sorry, what? I know both Max and Ilia Topuria are going up to lightweight, so, you know, I understand, and maybe they have to officially enter the lightweight fight, you know, have to actually fight at lightweight in order to exit the featherweight rankings. But regardless, why is Ilia Topuria below Max Holloway? It's not a big deal because, again, we're not going to be fighting in this weight division. I just find it fucking baffling how we organize these rankings when Ilia Topuria was undefeated in the featherweight division and beat Max Holloway, and Max Holloway in his last fight lost to Ilia Topuria. Makes no sense really. Diego Lopez, number two. I mean, yeah, that happens when you just lose a title fight. You're still up there. Yair Rodriguez, number four, after beating a 37-year-old Bellator fighter, Pitbull, who, if you've been looking at the rest of the rankings, Pitbull's not even in the rankings. So, what the fuck? Why is Yair Rodriguez above Movsar Evelev? I'm sorry, what? Like, I'm just so baffled by this. Like, what? Movsar Evelev, who has big wins over the likes of Aljamain Sterling, Arnold Allen, Diego Lopez, who's ranked number two right now, but it's alright, guys. Yair Rodriguez, who just beat Pitbull in the fight before that, lost to fucking Brian Ortega, who snapped his ankle before the fucking fight, like a minute before the fight actually started. What on earth? I like Yair Rodriguez. I do like him. I understand him calling for a title shot, even though he really doesn't deserve it, and no one really wants to see that rematch. But what the fuck are we doing here? I know Movsar's not a big fan favourite. Not a lot of people like Movsar, but come on. He's the most deserving person of fighting for that title next. Hence why Diego Lopez says, if I win, I want to fight Movsar. Hence why Volkanovski said, yeah, I'll fight Movsar because he deserves it next. So why the fuck is Movsar below Yair Rodriguez? It's just absolutely baffling to me. Then you have Arnold Allen, who's moved up. I mean, fair, he has been a bit inactive though. I believe he's got a shoulder injury, if I saw that correctly. Brian Ortega 7. Drop him down more, man, because this guy's just so inactive. Fights once every blue moon. I think he's moving up to lightweight. I don't know what the fuck's happening there. Brian Ortega, I've never really been a big fan of. I'm just sick of him stinking out this division. Fuck off to lightweight. Get it fucking done with, mate. I'm sure he's a nice bloke, but regardless, I'm sick of seeing his name in the top 10 of the featherweight division when he does pretty much fuck all, and he does nothing to justify it. After this, we have Lerone Murphy, who should be above Brian Ortega, in my opinion. Aljamain Sterling at 9th. Fair enough. You have Gene Silver, who's a big talking point of these rankings as well, coming in from not being ranked, now being 11th. I think he should be 10th. You know, Josh Emmett's last win was against Bryce Mitchell, who Gene Silver just beat. And, you know, Josh Emmett is obviously coming off a loss as well to Lerone Murphy just a few weeks back. So I feel like Gene Silver should be above Josh Emmett, but I'm not going to moan about that too much, considering Gene Silver's just entering the rankings, and Josh Emmett is an established name in all fairness. Giga Chadzkay's gone down, Zalal's gone down. Danny Gay's come 14th. He was 15th, now he's gone to 14. Calvin Kattar's 15th. I am surprised that Calvin Kattar's still in the rankings. I can't remember the last time he won a fight, if I'm being completely honest, but he's there, number 15. I've just got the big problem with Yair Rodriguez. That's my whole issue with this one. Gene Silver now should be 10th in my opinion. Him versus Lerone Murphy, Aljamain Sterling. If whatever's Brian Ortega's doing, maybe as well. Arnold Allen. You know, he's looking at that, you know, range, and then maybe gets another fight for the actual top 5 and then gets a title shot. You know, maybe if things work out, if he gets a nice victory in his next fight, he'll be skyrocketed to the title shot. I know he's calling for a title shot, which is fucking mental. I know he's calling for it. He's a big name, got a lot of hype right now. Wouldn't be surprised if he just gets one more win and gets skyrocketed straight into that title picture, gets a big showdown against him and Volkanovski, battle of the Baldies, that sort of thing. Great little promo right there, great little gimmick. But yeah, I'm not terribly annoyed. It's just the Yair shit what really pisses me off with this one. But there you have it, guys. Those are the updated rankings to the UFC roster. Let me know in the comments if you agree with them, if you disagree with them, where do you have certain fighters. Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.